The Indiana Fever season may be over, but the thirst for a championship has only grown. Just imagine Caitlin Clark dominating in her debut, the team making it to the playoffs, but something's still missing. That final piece of the puzzle that could take the Fever to the next level. What if I told you that piece might be wearing Phoenix Mercury colors? That's right, we're talking about Sophie Cunningham. Before we dive into the details, let's set the scene. The Fever is on the rise, hungry for success after years of rebuilding. On the other side, we have the Phoenix Mercury, a franchise in transition with Diana Taurasi's impending retirement. It's in this scenario that Sophie Cunningham comes into focus. Sophie is no rookie. Drafted 13th overall in 2019 by the Mercury, she's been consistently evolving. In 2023, she had her best season yet, averaging 9.9 points and 3.2 rebounds per game, along with an impressive 40% accuracy on three-pointers. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. What really makes Sophie stand out is her contagious energy on the court. She's the type of player who dives after loose balls, celebrates her teammates' points like they're her own, and isn't afraid to take on opposing stars. It's this warrior-like attitude combined with her ability to stretch the floor that makes her so valuable. Now, let's look at the Fever. We have a young team led by sensation Caitlin Clark. Clark had a historic rookie season, breaking records and proving that the hype around her was more than justified. But as we saw in the playoffs, one star alone doesn't win championships. The Fever needs players who can not only complement Clark's game, but also take on responsibilities when she's on the bench or heavily guarded. We need leadership, experience in crucial moments, someone who can hit that important three to stop the opponent's run. This is where Sophie Cunningham fits perfectly. Let's analyze how she could transform the Fever's dynamics. Spacing. With her 40% accuracy from beyond the arc, Sophie would force defenses to respect her on the perimeter. Imagine Clark driving and having the option to kick it out to an open Sophie in the corner. It's every defense's nightmare. Off-ball movement. Sophie isn't just a stationary shooter. Her ability to move without the ball is underrated. She has a great sense of timing for cuts, taking advantage of moments when the defense is focused on other players. Competitive mentality. Anyone who follows the WNBA knows Sophie doesn't shy away from challenges, whether it's defending the best opposing players or not hesitating to take the decisive shot. She brings an extra dose of grit to the team. Defensive versatility. Although not primarily known for her defense, Sophie has the size and determination to guard multiple positions. This would give Coach Christie's sides more tactical options, allowing for defensive switches and varied lineups. Now let's compare Sophie with one of the Fever's current bench options, Christy Wallace. Wallace finished the season averaging 4.7 points, 1.8 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game. At first glance, these numbers might not seem that far from Sophie's. However, when we dive deeper, the differences become glaring. Shooting efficiency. Sophie had a 40% accuracy on three-pointers, while Wallace was at a mere 28.6%. On a team that needs spacing for Clark to shine, this difference is crucial. Experience in decisive moments. Sophie has playoff and high-pressure game experience with the Mercury. Wallace, on the other hand, hasn't yet proven to be reliable in crucial moments. It's important to note that the comparison isn't to diminish Wallace, but to illustrate how Sophie Cunningham could fill exactly the gaps the Fever needs. Where Wallace struggled to establish herself, Sophie could step in and make an immediate impact. Now, let's project how the addition of Sophie Cunningham could shape the Fever's future. Imagine the 2025 Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, now in her second year, more mature and confident. Aaliyah Boston, continuing her rise as one of the league's best centers. And alongside them, Sophie Cunningham, bringing her contagious energy and lethal shooting. This scenario isn't just a distant dream, but a real possibility that could transform the Fever from a promising team into a WNBA powerhouse. With Sophie, the Fever would go from a team with potential to a true title contender. A realistic goal would be reaching the WNBA finals within 2 years. We're talking about a future where the Indiana Fever isn't just part of the title conversation, but leading that conversation. It's evident that Caitlin needs a more experienced team. She proved that in her rookie season. In her debut year, Clark revolutionized the game with her extraordinary court vision, precise long-range shots, and playmaking ability. Her arrival in the WNBA brought a wave of enthusiasm and attention to the league, increasing viewership and interest in professional women's basketball. However, the transition from college to professional basketball presented challenges, and it became clear that as talented as she is, Clark can't carry a team alone against experienced and well-established WNBA teams. Looking ahead to next season, there's great anticipation about how Clark and her team will develop. With a year of league experience and a better understanding of the professional game, Clark is expected to return even stronger and more adapted. The key to success will be her franchise's ability to build a solid roster around her, recruiting players who can benefit from her precise assists while creating space for her lethal shots. Clark promises to bring even more excitement and technical quality next season. Her tireless work ethic and passion for the game suggest she'll continue to evolve and surprise fans. If her team can strengthen the roster and create effective on-court chemistry, it wouldn't be surprising to see Clark leading a campaign for the WNBA title in the near future. The talent is there, and with adequate support and some new signings for the Fever, the sky's the limit for this young star of women's basketball. What do you think about the idea of Sophie Cunningham on the Indiana Fever? Is she the missing piece to the championship puzzle, or do you have another player in mind who could elevate the team's level? Leave your comments below. We want to see your analyses, your crazy ideas, your dreams for the Fever's future. Who knows, your suggestion might just become a reality. And if you love this content as much as we love producing it, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing in-depth analyses like this one. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and hit the bell to never miss a video about the Indiana Fever and the WNBA.